Store Communication, Channel 5 presents high school basketball. Today, the state Group 1 championship game from Lewis Brown Athletic Center on the campus of Rutgers University. Glassboro and Cresskill. Hi again, everybody. Mike Lindner along with Steve Crispin. We're here at Rutgers University. It all started, Steve, back in December. This is it, the final game. Everyone else has been played. All the championships have been decided except Group 1. And a team from our area, of course, Glassboro High School, with a chance to pick up one that they haven't had since 1981, and I think you have fond memories of that year.
I certainly do. Certainly, as I look back at this particular game we're going to have here tonight, fond memories, of course, coming home with a state championship team. And one person I had on that team, Kevin Timbers, will be on the sideline again tonight as the coach for the Glassboro Bulldogs. Ironic that you have two teams here that a lot of people felt could indeed play in this ball game. Cresskill coming in as defending finalists from last year, having played here but lost last year, looking to redeem themselves. But the Glassboro team, although relatively young, a lot of people thought maybe they did have the talent to play in the big game.
And, of course, let's focus on Glassboro first. When you talk about this Kevin Timbers-led team, Steve, this is a club very much like the one that Timbers played on and you coached to the state championship in '81, in that there's no tremendously big-time star as much as they distribute it across 3 or 4 players.
That's an important point as far as tonight's ball game is concerned, and that is they have the balance. They have very few weaknesses. Torrey Brooks certainly has gotten a lot of the ink this year. Leading scorer come into the ball game. Great game against Burlington Township to get them here into this finals, but they have so many players that can hurt you. Brooks in the backcourt. Wolfolk has done a great job up front. He's made some key plays for them up until this point. Maurice Davis has had an outstanding season. A difficult team to defend. Any one of their players can step forward and have a big game.
And on the other side, you look at Marty Rivard. He's the coach for the Cougars from Cresskill High School. And when you talk about that team and that program, that's the gentleman you have to speak about. 22 years there, 408 victories, somewhere around a 750 percentage mark for Marty Rivard. And another interesting thing, Steve, 15 times he's been at 19 wins or more in a season, and this is a very small Group 1 school. It has to be done on fundamentals.
Rivard certainly has his work cut out for him in tonight's ball game. He's seen certainly an exceptional team in Glassboro. A lot of people going into the tournament felt that the state champion was going to come out of the South Jersey, whether it be Glassboro or Burlington Township, so he knew he had his work cut out for him. No starter over 6'1", and remember, this is a Glassboro Bulldog team who's one of their stronger points is on the offensive boards. They like to get the shots up there. They like to pound the boards. They like to get the second shots, and that's where they can be very dangerous. Rivard certainly is going to have to coach a great game. His players are going to have to play exceptionally well. They're going to have to cut down on the turnovers, work for the good shot, hit a high percentage of those shots, knowing that they're not going to get a lot of second shots, and certainly a big key for them is going to be what can they do at the defensive end. Glassboro has the outside shooting to Brooks. Awful strong on the inside. We're going to have to watch in the early parts of the ball game to see how they react defensively.
And on the other side, you're going to want to take a look at Garrett Kreitz. He's the leader offensively for this club. He has a three-point shot that everybody in Bergen County knows about, and perhaps after tonight, everybody in Gloucester County will know about.
Comes into the ball game averaging over 27 points a game, and certainly he is going to be a key. We said offensively, they got to shoot well. Garrett's going to have to shoot well. They're going to have to make sure they keep him in the ball game. They got to be careful of foul trouble, and certainly he's a big factor at 6'1", as we mentioned, also one of the players that they're going to need to help themselves out on the board. So they got their work cut out for them. Can they do it? Well, they had to do something right to get here. We're looking forward to a good ball game.
All right, that's the preview then, right here at Rutgers. Group 1 state championship. The Cougars of Cresskill High School, the Bulldogs of Glassboro High School. Game action coming up right after these words. Well, they're ready. The Bulldogs from Glassboro High School on the court awaiting the Cougars of Cresskill High School. Group 1 state championship game being played here at Rutgers. The final game of the New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association season, with the exception of course, the Tournament of Champions. And if the winner here will be the final entry into that tournament. George Bonos ready to throw it up, and it will be controlled by the jump of Bobby Wolfolk, who jumped center, and controlled immediately by Torrey Brooks. What an outstanding guard Brooks is, as we get nearly the first turnover, and there it will be. First turnover of the night as Wee Chung Wang controls the basketball for the Cougars.
And defensively, Cougars coming out of the man-to-man. A lot of people feel that you can be most effective against the Bulldogs in your man-to-man defense, put pressure on the ball, not allowing them to get the ball inside to where their strength is.
And another turnover going the other way. Osborne got it off over to McGirt, who was unable to hit. And we'll come down this way. Kreitz misses his first shot. He averages 27 points a ball game. The 6'1" senior, leading all scorers in Bergen County, has over 12 points in a couple of years. Good look inside, and excellent left-handed shot by Maurice Davis. And Davis, who scores just over 18 points a game, puts the Bulldogs up 2-0 with 6:56 remaining to play in the opening period.
Well, the one thing Coach Rivard is going to have to do is find a way of stopping Torrey Brooks in his penetration to the basket. He's so effective as a scorer when he penetrates, but he can be even more effective on the dish-offs, as we saw there. And he's got two good ones in Davis and Woolfolk in the low post who we can look to. Now, Glassboro's been a real slow team to start off, and we'll have to get off to a good start here this evening.
Boy, that's what you call forcing a shot, isn't it, by Garrett Kreitz? It seems to me, though, that nobody on his club seemed to mind. They stand around and watch the young guy who's authored so many victories for them.
A good, smart ball player. He got to the inside. He knows this is a great shot-blocking team from Glassboro. Gets on the inside, a little bit of a pump fake to get them off to their feet, and is able to get himself to the foul line for the two shots.
He'll come up short on the first. He'll have another.
One of the things you see so often in state championship play, those first quarter jitters. A lot of times these two teams will be playing in an arena that they're not accustomed to, much bigger than your high school gyms, especially at a Group 1 level that you're used to. Looks like we got a double lane violation there and a possession arrow facing.
It was against the, yeah, you're right, it was a double. How about that? All right, must have gone against.
It was a double and it was a jump ball.
Okay, yeah.
And the Cougars had it facing their direction. So certainly Kreitz has got to get himself on gear. He's got to find that range shooting-wise. So many of the good shooters have a tough time adjusting, as I said, in this big gym atmosphere.
And a nice crowd on hand here. Not nearly the crowd that we had for the previous game this evening. As Kreitz fires up the three and hits. We'll see that a lot tonight.
Good 3 steps behind the three-point line. The Glassboro defense not coming out and challenging the shot, and Kreitz waits no time in getting that up in the air.
And the superior size is felt that time as McGirt gets the pass inside from Torrey Brooks and converts and puts the Bulldogs back up by a point, 4-3.
And again, Brooks does it with the penetration.
Look at this.
Well, you see why he's one of the leading scorers coming out of Bergen County this year. 2 straight three-pointers, a good 3 steps behind the line. He'll be looking to put it up. He certainly carries a lot of the weight on his shoulders as far as offensively for this Cougar team.
Again, it's the size of Davis, who had no trouble powering his way into the basket. And it's 6-6, 5:24 remaining to play. Kreitz wants to go to the back for this time and has it taken away. He will miss that shot. Rebound handled by Maurice Davis.
Well, so far the Cougars have come out and done what they want to do on offense. They will look to push it up court when they can. They'll take their time offensively when they have to. Still staying with the man-to-man, and again, it's Brooks, and then it's the Bulldogs on the boards, and that's been the story of their season.
Well, Brooks missed, Woolfolk missed. Kreitz the other way, he's got it. So it's 8-6, and down the other end, let's see, no, it will be a walk, another turnover. But Kreitz has all 8. We expected to see him get a ton, and not necessarily every point that his team scored as we take a look at Kevin Timbers.
Well, right now, certainly a decision he's going to have to make is how long does he allow Kreitz to go without putting a man on him defensively, head up, either with a box and one or some sort of combination defense.
He's out and over the line, so that'll be a 6th shot taken by Kreitz. He's converted 2 threes and a 2. So he's 50%, but has accounted for 8 points.
When you play the Bulldogs, one of the decisions you have to make as a coach, do you pack it in and try to take away the inside game and give up the three-pointer, and Brooks will look to take it, or do you come out and challenge the guards and therefore make yourselves a little bit weaker around the basket?
Again, cleaning up underneath. Davis, who now has 6, as he rebounded the missed Brooks shot. Now the pressure pays off. Up and in for Cameron McGirt, who has 4. It's 10-8. The Bulldogs on top.
The Bulldogs are good with the pressure because they're so big and they can be so difficult to pass around. There you're going to see only one shot for the Cougars. The Bulldogs want to make sure the game stays up-tempo, and that's why they're going to put a little bit of the full-court pressure on whenever they can.
Oh, good block that time. Chung cannot hit.
Cougars are going to find out real fast. They're going to be challenged on every shot when they come on the inside. Have to show maybe a little bit more patience. You got to use the pump fakes. They got to get to the basket strong. This Glassboro team, not only do they have the size, but they're so quick off the floor.
Wee Chung Wang looking to try to get the ball to Kreitz, and it was knocked away by Davis. They'll go long, however, and find Quinn, who finds Kreitz. Kreitz up and off the side. Rebound taken away by Osborne. Osborne, sophomore, playing here. The young ball club from Glassboro. Look at this move. Twist and turn, and Osborne breaks into the scoring column for the first time. It's 12-8 pressure. Banderini will break through it, but have it knocked away by Wolfert. The Cougars will control.
Cresskill, not a quick team with that quick point guard, and that will allow Glassboro to even put a little bit more pressure in that full court game. A lot of times when the team's had a quick guard, they've had a tough time pressing, but they're using their quickness, their size, certainly to their advantage here in the first quarter.
Brooks wants to go all the way in and up and scores. And now 4 of the 5 Bulldogs have scored. Wolfert, the only one not yet to dent the scorebook.
Glassboro's gotten off to a quick start, which is exactly what they wanted. That was a big basket right there.
3 threes and a deuce for Kreitz. 11 points, all 11. And they can just do that all night long, it seems to me, Steve, as Wolfert now scores.
This is what they want. The Bulldogs want an up-tempo game where you're running the floor. Right now, the Cougars are able to take advantage of it. Kreitz has had a big first quarter.
Not bad, 13 of the 13 points scored by his club. Still trailing Glassboro, but by 3 as we're approaching the 2-minute mark. 2:10 right now in the opening period. We'll have a foul down here as Wolfert missed the outside shot. Let's see how it's called. This call made by Lee Saris.
Personal number 43, Crispin.
There you see Coach Rivard, 22nd year. Gray hair, probably a result of his 408 victories coming into tonight's ballgame. In and out for Brooks. Brooks now is 1 for 5, and that's not going to last very long as he will get hot. Comes in averaging just under 23 points a ball game. Look at this, man's open. Scorer, Wee Chung Wang. His first bucket. 1 point separating these clubs at the 1:35 mark of the opening period, 16-15. Glassboro still has the lead. And it will be a walk with another turnover.
Well, we've said coming into this ball game, Glassboro has had a tendency to start very slow. I think on one extent, Kevin Timbers has got to be happy with this first quarter performance. But on the defensive end, they're going to have to work a little bit harder. Have to try to take Kreitz out of the ball game if they possibly can. But it's going to be important also for the Cougars, a couple of their players to step up here.
Yeah, we missed that one. How many of those do you think he shoots a week, all year round? In the backyard, in the front yard, and in the gymnasium. Well, they get 2 shots, but they don't make a bucket. Ball will be knocked away, and Cresskill will control.
Well, we have seen the Bulldogs' strength, and the strength is to get the ball up to the basket, allow Woolfolk, Davis, and McGirt to get to the boards, get the easy second shots. That's part of their offensive philosophy. It takes a lot of pressure off the outside shooters, knowing that they don't have to score, that they have that ability to go to the boards. Under 50 seconds here, and the Cougars electing to try to work for the last shot. Been really surprised. The Bulldogs have set back defensively. It's the first time they've really come out and applied pressure. They're normally a team that like to dictate the tempo of the game.
That will cost them, but they will get it back. So turnover. 4 apiece now for the clubs here in the opening period.
The one thing I've liked about the Cougars' offensive game so far is they've taken an attack philosophy, and I think that's one of the things you do have to do against a Glassboro team. You can't sit back. You can't be too patient. You've got to attack it when the opportunities are there. And Kreitz has certainly had a great first quarter, and hopefully he can free some things up for some of the other players.
Brandon doing a good job. That's Brandon Quinn, number 5, not really taking the heat at all. Oh, almost lost by Wang. 2 seconds. Kreitz gets it up, off the glass and misses. No bucket, so that'll do it for 1 quarter of play here in this state Group 1 final. And Glassboro has a 1-point lead, 16-15. More championship action coming up right after these words. Glassboro will control to start the second quarter here, 16-15. They've got a 1-point lead. Mike Lindner along with Steve Crispin bringing you this one from the Lewis Brown Athletic Center at Rutgers University. A real thrill for all these athletes to get a chance to play on his college campus. Again using the left hand, this time Davis will miss, and there'll be a foul, push off underneath. Wait and see who it's called against. It will be against Woolfolk.
That's
His first and the team's second.
Very important for the Cougars to keep this Bulldog team on their backs. They got to box out good on the inside. They were able to do that at that time. Woolfolk, they got caught on the push-off. Right now, we do see a box and one. They brought Thomas in the ball game off the bench. He will match up with Kreitz.
Kreitz will miss another one. And will also be whistled for the foul. In the ball game now, 43, number 43 for Glassboro, Ross Wilmot. Play is certainly slow as Wilmot touches it for the first time, but that's the way Cresskill wants it. And hitting for 3 now is Torrey Brooks. He has 5.
You mentioned it won't take long for Torrey Brooks to get it on. Good three-point shooter, a good penetrator. Here again, the Cougars working against that box and one. You know they've probably seen it at various times in the course of the season. When you have someone like Kreitz who scores the kind of points that he does, you need to set a lot of screens and free him up as much as you can for the shot.
Good move.
Nice move.
He's a good one.
Good, smart, heady ball player. Got into the paint. He knows the Bulldogs are going to challenge. A good head fake to get the defender off the floor. And then a nice high arcer to get it over the outstretched arm of Woolfolk.
That one will not fall for Davis, but he is hacked. And he will go to the line to shoot 2. As called for the foul is Kreitz. Oh, they give it to Phoenix. Chris Phoenix. His second.
That was Davis who had the big game against Middlesex, a quiet 32 points, and that's really the kind of season he's had all year long. Quiet ball player, he gets his points off the glass, a nice touch, you leave him open to 3-point range and he will be able to nail the 3-pointer. Really a good all-around ball player, also only a junior, really will be a force for this team next year. And what makes this team also so strong is you have players like Davis and Woolfolk who don't necessarily have to have the ball on offense to hurt you. They're so good going to those offensive boards.
Davis now has 8, 3 field goals and the 2 free throws. With a little trap on the corner on Kreitz, and he'll turn it over as Brooks has it with the spin move, has Wilmot to one side, but over on the other side, he's able to find B.J. Byard, who's in the ball game now, who comes up with the basket. His first points and his first action. So Timbers playing 7 so far. Also in the game is Stephen Thomas, number 15. You see him right there. Kreitz went right by him. Oh, I like him.
Well, nice move to the basket. Thomas has got the responsibility as he came off the bench for that box and one. But again, Kreitz has so many weapons in his arsenal with the 3-pointer and the drive to the basket.
Brooks took one quick look and went. And look at this down underneath. Pump fake, and up. And will be missed by Brandon Quinn. But there's some fundamentally sound players here. You know they've been coached. How many times do you think Rivard has had them pump, then shoot when the player goes up? Brooks could not hit that second shot. Bayard had missed the first one. Wang will give it back to Quinn. To Kreitz at the top of the key. He'll dribble up. Now Quinn is open, but I don't think the shooting is in his game plan. Blocked by Bayard. The attempted shot by Chris Phoenix. 7-4 this period. The Bulldogs have increased their lead now by the 3 points. Oh, this is a tough call here, but it's going to be a reaching in on Brandon Quinn, his first. Brain trust from the Cougars. 408 wins, 151 losses for Marty Rivard. Wilmot, who has played very well for the Bulldogs this year, off the bench most of the time. Had the opening there, chose not to get it. Instead, the attempted three-pointer by Stephen Thomas will go awry and will go the other way. So they maybe haven't been pretty, and they haven't been tough on the boards. They haven't been quick, but what they are is but 4 points behind this Cougar team from Cresskill, playing totally within themselves.
They certainly are. They're playing a good, smart ball game. They're doing what they have to do up front. You know, coming into the ball game, you're going to give up second shots. This Glassboro team is just too talented. But you got to make the effort to box out, which they have done. Phoenix has done a nice job using his strength down inside to keep this Glassboro Bulldog team on his back. Right now, Osborne comes in. He has the responsibility of trying to stop Kreitz.
Again, you saw the pump, this time by Andy Ben Batterina, as Glassboro turns it over the other way for the 6th time. Big thing has been the scoring inside. Glassboro has 16 of their 23 points in the paint. 10 of the 19. I don't believe that's right. We have to check that one for Cresskill. Yeah, the other 3 have been by Kreitz on the 3-pointers. Shot no good by Wang. They're getting 1 and out, and that's about it.
They knew that coming into the ball game. The one shot they take has got to be a good one because they won't get a lot of second one.
Look at Wilmot go up. He will not get the shot, and then fighting for it underneath. It will be kicked around, finally controlled by Wilmot again.
And there's the strength of the Bulldogs. Wolfolk on the second shot. That's where he's been all season long. 3 and 4 shots at the basket. Such a quick leaper, and once he gets that ball and takes it back up, he is so strong.
He's got 4 points, 2 in each of the quarters.
Right now, Cresskill's got to be patient. Kreitz has got to be patient.
Well, he's not patient there, but he gets another point. That's 19 of the 21 for Kreitz.
Now he knew to take it to the basket. That's where his strength is right now. He's getting the pressure on the perimeter. They're taking away the 3-point game, so he knows I got to take it inside to get my baskets. You know, the one thing he's got to be concerned with right now as he goes over to the sideline, get a little drink of water, is they're really making him work at both ends of the floor. He's got to work a little bit harder on offense. He's one of the keys for them defensively as far as hitting the boards. And this can really wear on you. When the team plays a 2-3 zone, you have the freedom to set yourself up. You don't get as worn down as quickly as you do when you see the box and one.
Well, there was a foul on Wolfolk. It was his second. It was the team 3rd. Kreitz, no surprise, has it. One fake and shoots the 3, is unable to get it. I would not want to play a game of horse with him.
He's got a good all-around ball game. Just as effective on the inside as we have seen as on the outside. And he shoots the jumper for the 3, too. Got an excellent range, which gets him shooting over top of the defense.
Brooks really forces this, but is saved by Bayard, who cannot get the shot, and now is able to get his own rebound, and now again, Wolfolk misses, and now it's Brooks again. Well, Brooks had 3 shots in that series. Finally came up with a bucket, and they draw out by 6 points, 27-21.
Well, Marty Rivard on the sideline, very upset with the officiating. They're not calling the over the back. I'm not saying that the run took place there, but these 2 officials are allowing the teams to be very aggressive on the boards. A lot of contact there from both teams in that last series of plays, but this Glassboro defense is just relentless in terms of coming to the board.
Had to be a foul there, and is, as Davis will pick up his first.
Glassboro personal number 40.
Andy Batterina
His first. The fourth team foul.
will go to the line.
On the shot.
Batterina, the sophomore, has had a good season, averaging over 12 points a game. Really need to look for him to step up. Big game for a sophomore, his first trip probably to the state championship final.
McGirt back into the ball game for Wilmot.
Andy Batterina shoots 2.
Timbers has not shown too much emotion so far in this game. He can and he will.
This is a strange position for him probably right now. This is a Glassboro team that on so many occasions has had to come back from even sometimes big deficits to pull out victories. And right now with a 5-point lead in the first half, this has proved to be a very strong fourth quarter club.
Batterino scores his first 2 and draws his team within 4, 27-23. Yeah, it has not been a non-tense tournament for the Bulldogs.
Now Coach Kevin Timbers had said his team was very relaxed.
Look at
Nice
this.
move by Brooks on the baseline, a little bit of a finger roll. But his team was relaxed. They felt good coming into this ball game. It's not a team that was really uptight. But so far, they've been able to do just what they wanted to do. Offensively, working the ball. Brooks has had a good game. They've been strong on the boards. Their game plan is right where they wanted it to be.
Well, Kreitz misses again, but they fight inside for the rebound. Guess who they get it back to? Kreitz. He is so quick on that shot. No sooner gets the ball than he delivers it in the direction of the basket.
Deceivingly quick. Right-hand side, he gets a double screen. Getting a lot of help in terms of freeing himself up. Now under a minute. They'll try to wait for the last shot.
Is this a disciplined team or what?
Well, Vard's got to be very happy. He's only down 6. I think his philosophy coming in is we got to stay in this ball game. Let's be in a position in the fourth quarter where we can pull this game out. Not too many teams with 45 seconds left in a quarter or a half can hold for that last shot. Have that discipline than what it takes. The only difference this time is in the first quarter, they did not get the ball into Kreitz's hands. They did not get a good final shot. That's what they got to look for this time around.
Quinn has them chasing him all over the place as they're down now to the 10-second mark. They'll put it in Kreitz's hands. They'll get out of the double team, go right to the basket, will not score. And then down the other end, let's see if Bayer can get it. Oh, look at it behind the back. The big basket to end the half and count it. It's 31-23, and that's the kind of explosion you'd like to have at the end. And the Bulldogs have to love that one. 31-23, they're up by 8 as we go to halftime. We'll be back with more basketball right after these words. In a down-tempo game, Glassboro has now snuck out to an 8-point lead as we get ready for the second half, 31-23, as they continue their quest, looking for their 3rd Group 1 state championship in the history of the school. They won, of course, in 78 and also in 81. And, of course, the coach in that club at 81, my partner tonight, Steve Crispin. Steve, you have memories of that, or have they faded over the years?
Well, they have faded somewhat, but certainly they're fond memories. And that game was very similar to this game, and as we said earlier, a tendency of championship games to be low scoring. A Glassboro team that normally puts up close to 70 points a game. I felt coming into this ball game, Cresskill was going to have to keep Glassboro in the 60s if they were going to have a chance to win. And right now, that's where they are defensively. Now what they got to do is make the offensive adjustments.
And the offense has been Garrett Kreitz with 19 of the 23 points.
Now, going back to the end of that first half, that was a key turnaround for both the Bulldogs as far as an upswing and going in at halftime, and certainly a difficult swing for this Cresskill Cougar team. Situation where Creskill's waiting for the last shot, Kreitz gets into the basket, looked like he may have been fouled. The call was not made. Glassboro on the break. Nice play by Ballard on the behind-the-back pass to Brooks to finish off the quarter to put them up 8. So they go up 8 instead of maybe up 4. Big turnaround at the end of the first half.
Wags could not make the shot, and the Bulldogs will look to open the lead even further. That is not a good shot by Osborne, and it is followed, however, and again followed by McGirt. He is fouled on the second attempt and will go to the line.
That's the one thing you don't have to worry about. Really, for Glassboro, there's no bad shots, because any shot that gets up to the basket has the potential to be a follow-up, and this is a team that goes to the board so strong. McGirt, the senior on this team, key player, plays great defense, gets to the board, a lot of second opportunities also. Not normally a good foul shooter. The scouting report normally is he gets the ball around the basket. You want to put him to the line as he has one that rims in and comes out.
They shot but 4 in the opening half. I'm sorry, 2. They were 2 for 2 in the first half. Now 2 for 3 in the evening. They shot 14 for 35 from the field for 40% as McGirt misses the second Cresskill controls. On the other side, Cresskill was only 9 for 24. Kreitz will not hit again, and if he is not going to be on, I don't know who is going to get the points for them.
Oh, you're right. Well, after such a great first half, nice move by Brooks. And there's Phoenix again on the board. He really did a nice job in that first half, getting up after those rebounds. A 6'1" player gets off the floor very well, and he certainly had his work cut out for him here tonight.
Quinn has done a good job as the point guard. Hasn't tried to force anything. Kreitz says, I'll go to the basket this time, and Osborne says you might want to get there, but you're not going to, as he knocks the ball away and out of bounds. The Cougars will inbound. Into the hands of Kreitz again, who loses it this time. He gets it back, however. Kreitz says, look at me, I got it, and I'm going to the backboard. Will not score, forced it in again.
Now, right now, they're not getting the calls that they're looking for. This is the kind of game, you get to the state championship level, normally get 2 officials who are rated pretty highly, and they're the kind of officials that normally will let a game become very physical.
I think it's going to be on Kreitz, and that will be his second.
That's a surprise. You got the official who's outside, away from the ball. Official standing right underneath the basket does not make the call. This is where Kreitz has got to be careful. He doesn't want to show too much displeasure with the officiating, because that'll start to work against them.
And they just penetrate the lane and get that pass into Davis, who has broken into double figures now with 10. 33 to 23, it's a 10-point lead. 5:50 remaining to play in the third period.
Now the weakness here for Cresskill is they've had no other players really been able to step up offensively. Another turnover. They got to be very careful they don't let things get out of hand here in the third quarters. This Glassboro team has come out so strong. The advantage was there. Brooks on the turnover.
8 turnovers for the Bulldogs, 7 for Cresskill.
Now Cougars have to be patient now. You're still within 10. Let's work the ball. Kreitz has got to take his time.
They needed that one, and Ben Dorina comes up with the 3.
You're right, Mike. That is a big basket. We talk about patience, but Alderino finding himself at that 3-point range, has the capabilities of hitting it. He's our second leading scorer. Love to see him start making those shots.
Underneath again, look at this power of Davis, who will get fouled following Wolfick's missed shot.
Cresskill person number 12 reaches away his second, 13th foul.
We can say it over and over again. This is such a strong team up front. Davis only a junior, Wolfolk only a junior. So strong on the offensive boards. They're so quick. They get up after the ball. Davis has that nice touch also when he gets to that foul line. Nice, consistent foul shooter.
And the 6'4" junior will look for point 12 and will not get it. Benorino gets it, puts it into Quinn's hand, who quickly comes up court this time. Whoa, he wants to go all the way to the basket and really didn't know what he was going to do with the ball, and he got fortunate to be fouled, I believe, by Davis.
Now you're right, a little bit out of control, penetrating. They're going to give him 2 shots on the play, saying he was going up for the shot. A little bit of a break there as they were trying to score in transition. A lot of times when you have a team playing you in a box-and-1 defense, makes it equally difficult to try to score in your set offense. You try to do a little bit more in transition. So possibly that'll be one of the adjustments that Coach Marty Rivard would have made at halftime, saying when you have that opportunity, just push the ball up court. Let's see if we can get the easy basket before they set themselves up defensively.
Tom Piscataway in the ball game and watches Quinn sink his first. That's his first point of the evening. Piscataway replacing probably temporarily Chris Phoenix, who's been working so hard out there on the boards.
He's really taking a beating. He's over on the sideline, maybe caught like an elbow or knee in the back. He's seeking some attention. They need him in there, doing a nice job of keeping whenever he possibly can. The big front line of the Bulldogs off the boards.
Well, the lead had gotten to 10. It's back down to 6, 34-28. 4:50 left to play here in the third. So a steal followed by the turnover as McGirt wanted to turn, but Batterina was there and knocked it away and then slid as he knocked the ball across the floor and out of bounds. This is what you call a forced shot by Brooks. But with that ability underneath to control the board, it is really paid just to throw it up in the air and let him fight for it underneath. Davis gets it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Of course, that's where they're so strong, and they continue to show it throughout the course of this game. And it takes a lot of pressure off of your outside perimeter players. There you see Osborne a little upset with Wolfwalk. He's telling, we don't reach in, we don't foul on the double team. We want to look for the steal after the pass is made. And that's one of the things about this Bulldog team. They are a tight, unified team. They enjoy playing with each other. They work hard. They're not afraid of telling somebody when they're not doing the job that they have to do. And of course, chemistry is so important, and that's been one of the key things about this team. They have risen to the occasion when they've had to. They certainly know how to dig down and make that second effort when it's needed.
Osborne picks up his second, following Wolford picking up his third. Kreitz, who's been silent for a while, banks it up and cannot score. So he's 0 for 4 here in the second half, after being 8 for 17 in the first half. Brooks wants to try and match him with a three. Won't happen, but look what it means. It just means underneath, Wolford will score and they'll have 6.
Right now, Cresskill's going back to the 2-3 zone in an effort to do a little bit better job on the boards, but that's still not getting it done for him.
Good left-hand move by Kreitz. Puts him to 21 and keeps his team within 8, 38-30 at the 3:35 mark.
Here you see the 2-3 zone. They're sagging back. They're trying to do a little bit better job of boxing out.
I think they got to get Phoenix back in there underneath. Can't be giving them all those second and third shots. Look at this from outside. Davis, but Kreitz cannot keep Wolford away. He now has 8. Can't believe Davis launched that one from outside. Turnover on the pass in by Wang. Oh, no foul. And on the follow, Brooks gets his own rebound and shot and scores. And now a technical foul is going to go, I think, against Andy Batterina, who was really upset with the official. Are they going to call it an intentional as opposed to a technical? And it's on Quinn who gets the call.
And that's a tough turnaround. Right now the Bulldogs up 12, 2 foul shots and the ball back. A lot of frustration over the Cresskill sideline as it looked like maybe in that particular play, Wang may have gotten the position looking for the offensive foul, not getting the call.
Oh, he got banged too. He really got banged.
That's normally one. When contact is made, it's not necessarily what the call is, but a call was made, whether it's an offensive charge or whether it's a block. An official's got to take control of this game. And this is the kind of turnaround that really hurts a team, especially when you're down, especially the Bulldogs are able to convert here.
Well, the Bulldogs have control now. 14-point lead and the basketball. And again, they get the good roll this time for Osborne. And the pressure now, let's see if Cresskill can get it up court. They're going to have to, but they're down 16 now. It's going to take a ton of threes. Wang will have it blocked and a foul called against McGirt.
Now I think you have a situation, officials seeking that maybe things are getting out of control. They're hearing it from both sidelines. That looked like a clean block. But possibly after the play, there was some contact. Wang will go to the foul line for 3 shots.
A little bigger now than he was in his playing days.
He's put on a few pounds. He always good around the basket.
You always told him he had to eat more to get stronger.
Well,
it's like now to get on that Jenny Craig, don't you? At the other end, Rivard really upset.
Kevin's made the move from a shooting forward to a power forward. But you're right now, seeking some attention on the sidelines, and this will be a tough break for the Cougars, as we'll have another starter have to come out of the game. You know, right now, Phoenix has not come back in, and you really got to wonder, he must be hurting on the sidelines, and that has certainly been a key, because if you think about it, when he went out of the ball game, there was only a 6 to 8 point advantage for the Bulldogs, and Phoenix was really a force on the boards for the Cougars, and he's come out, and this Bulldog team is really going to the board strong. And Cresskill right now having to take Balderina out of the ball game as he seeks some attention on the sidelines.
Yeah, they're going to have to move him down to get him off the playing area. Wei Chung Wang waits at the foul line. You know, any blood showing at all, you've got to go to the bench until you can stem the flow. Wang puts up a weak effort and gets a derisive response from the Glassboro faithful, and a ton of them here tonight. He'll get that one.
Well, the big key here in the third quarter, 2:44 left, has been the Bulldogs' ability to take Kreitz out of the ball game offensively. They went to the box and won. Good move by Kevin Timbers and his coaching staff on the sideline, his assistant Mose Aaron, knowing that they had to do something defensively to stop Kreitz, and they've been able to do that, and it really paid dividends for them here throughout the third quarter.
What is this call? Timeout. Okay, Kreitz down on the floor. Called the timeout, and it'll be white basketball when we come back. 46-31, 2:30 left to play here in the third. Glassboro on top. We'll be back after these words. Cresskill with the basketball, but they're in trouble. 46-31 with 2:22 to play in the third period. Mike Lindner along with Steve Crispin for Stewart Communication, and this time Wang misses a long one, and their shooting has gone south.
Well, certainly has. Kreitz was hot in the first half, but with him shooting the ball the way he did, a lot of times that takes the other players out of the game. Right now I have a foul down on the inside against the Cougars, but again, with him shooting the ball the way he did in the first half, although he was very effective and kept his team in the ball game, it did not allow the other players to really get into their flow offensively. And now as they look for other players maybe to step up, maybe hit the big threes to loosen up this Bulldog defense, they're just not able to do so.
They're 2 for 9 in the second half. And there'll be another foul. This time it'll be on Balderini. That'll be the second one Balderini picks up in the course of about 15 seconds. And the size has just worn Cresskill down. There's just no way they can compete giving up 2, 3, and 4 shots at a time and getting but one at the other end.
And you really can't block the shots of this Bulldog team. They have the size advantage to begin with. They get off the floor so well. Any contact that's made is going to be a foul. What you have to concentrate on is making sure that once that shot is taken that you still turn and box out the shooter even though they're that close to the basket.
Looking to make the lead 17, and will. It's going to take a collapse or an unbelievable offensive surge by Cresskill to keep Glassboro from annexing their third state championship Group 1 basketball.
Well, the tough part that they have in front of them is not only do they got to find something to do defensively or offensively, but it's at the defensive end that they're really struggling.
They now have 10 turnovers, and the Bulldogs have taken advantage of most of them. Inside, why not? They turn and they just get another chance and another. Those 3 shots at the basket for Wolfa, who finally gets it. He now has 10.
And there you saw a good example of that explosiveness. Woolfolk and Davis getting off of the floor. How quick they are to the ball, great hands.
He's had 7 shots himself, 8 shots himself in this period, has Woolfolk. And Davis has 3. That's 11 inside, 11 shots in 1 period. Wang. One might ask the question, where's Kreitz? Because we haven't seen or heard from him in a while. There will be a foul underneath. And now in the ball game, number 3, Tom Piscataway, as we talked about, will go to the line. Piscataway, remember, replaced Phoenix and has really changed the complexion of this ball game.
The 16th foul. One Glassboro for 35.
Now, we've got in the ball game now, we want to correct this, number 35, Jason Ballard, who saw action in the first half, and in the program, it was incorrectly listed as B.J. Byard. So Ballard comes back in the ball game having scored 2 points in the first period.
Ballard, a transfer that came to the Bulldogs midway to the season, and really what a lot of coaches didn't need to hear is that Glassboro got another 6'4" junior to put up front.
And we'll get a quick reach and foul on Kreitz. Kreitz may be very tired now. He surely did not want to give up that third foul at that point. 47 seconds, 47.5 as we have the college big-time scoreboard here for these young players. It'll be the 7th team foul, and they'll walk the length of the court now to shoot 1 and 1. Well, the way this is going, it has to prove, if it continues this way, to be somewhat of an anticlimax, does it not, for the Bulldogs and their fans?
Well, you may say that. They've certainly had some exciting ball games. I think as people look back, nothing will be more exciting than the comeback against Burlington Township. The great job that they did coming back in that 4th period and finally pulling that ball game out. They've had some close games along the way. Some of the games even prior to the South Jersey Championship against Middlesex, they had to hold on to win that ball game. And probably right now, Kevin Timbers would love nothing more than have a game in which his team is up by 20 points or more throughout the course of that 4th period, because he certainly had to sweat out a lot of close ones. Would love to have an easy one here tonight, and it looks like he may get it.
Good move that time to the basket as Bettarini scores. He has 7. That's not enough. They need it for more than that. Brooks fires one up, rifles another. Oh, good pass, good look inside, and finds Wolfuk, who has 8 in this period and 12 overall.
Well, there you saw the versatility of Brooks, the great scorer and also the great passer. He knows how to find those guys down on the box. All they do is they sit down there and they get themselves open.
Kreitz finally hits and gets another 3. He has 5 in this period and 24 for the ball game. But I don't know that it's going to be enough as they end 3 periods of play here at Rutgers. Group 1 state championship game. The Bulldogs of Glassboro on top 53 to Cresskill's 37. We'll be back with 4th period basketball right after these words. (53 to 37) as we begin the 4th period of action. Glassboro comfortably in front, looking for the Group 1 state championship. Mike Lindner along with Steve Crispin for Storer Communications. Brooks dumps it inside, and they're just going to do that anytime they want it, as Davis now gets another 2. He has 18 for the ball game.
That's the one thing that the Cougars have not been able to stop, as we said, through the course of the season. They may have the offense to get themselves back in this ball game, but I don't know that they can do the job at the defensive end to stop this Bulldog attack.
Good defensive kick that time by Batterina.
You know, there's been times, we said before, where Glassboro's had to come back in ball games to win it. There have been times where they've been up by substantial margins and in the 4th quarter had to hold on to pull out victories. The big difference here is, as I said, I think they have such an advantage up front. You look right now at Wolfolk at 6'4", and Davis at 6'4". As we mentioned, they brought in Ballard, the transfer. He's 6'4". Our big team, Osborne, a 6'1" point guard.
Well, that will be team foul. Let's see if it's 6 or 7. It'll be 6 apparently. 3rd foul goes against Davis in what should probably be nothing but a footnote to this ball game.
You know, the one thing we haven't talked about is the job that Donald Osborne has done defensively on Kreitz. Thomas came in early in the ball game off the bench. When they put the box and one in, he's a little quicker, but Kreitz was able to shoot over Thomas, and Coach Kevin Timbers went to Osborne, and he has risen to the occasion and done a great job in shadowing Kreitz wherever he goes. He's a little bit quicker, a little bit bigger and stronger, and he's really made Kreitz work for every basket.
Well, now this is what must drive coaches crazy. Rivard for Cresskill was so upset early when they were in the ballgame and not getting calls. Now the whistle seems to be blowing every time, and yet they're, 18 points back, and it's like, so what?
And you're hearing it from the stands on the Cresskill sideline. They really started to clap whenever calls were made, but you're absolutely right. I think what happened, the officials starting to realize that maybe things were getting a little bit out of control, and it happens so often. In the first half, we may have had a combined 4 fouls called, and the second half, there's been an awful lot of whistles blown.
Brooks looks across to Davis, up with the left hand and in.
So smooth and so soft. Brooks sets it up. Good vision. He sees the floor so well, finds the open man, Davis, and when he gets that 10-foot jumper, you can count it.
Davis has 20. And lost this time by Kreitz, and maybe a sign that it is all but over, as Kreitz does not have the enthusiasm on that play to complete it.
I think the enthusiasm is there. It's just that he's had to work so hard. There he is doing the job at the defensive end to get his points, and it's really starting to wear on him now.
Good pass. Battarini scores. 9, but down at the other end. Oh, it's blown. It's missed. It isn't converted. Ballard couldn't get it. Kreitz looking with the running hook shot. Doesn't get a call on the fouls. He looks menacingly at the official, George Banos. Now let's see, we'll get an offensive foul down here, however, on Torrey Brooks. And again, the kind of Bronx cheer, in this case, the Bergen County cheer for the official who finally calls one their way, as they see it. And Kevin Timbers says, hey, with 5:39 left to play, 57-39. Let's take a break and talk about it as we go down the end. We'll be back with more basketball action in this Group 1 state final right after these words. If Osborne 57-39 as you catch us talking about our MVP ballots and trying to figure out just who it's going to be in this ball game. Interestingly, Steve, all our focus on the Glassboro players because I guess we, like everybody else here in the Lewis Brown Center, figure this one's about over as far as who's going to win it.
And boy, when you talk about MVPs, is this a difficult selection someone's going to have to make? Well, this team is so balanced. There's so many strengths in this team. We hear Brooks and we talk about Woolfolk and we talk about Davis, and they're so strong, and Ballard on the turnaround.
Well, you know, I'd say Davis has the most points. He's leading the way with 20. Woolfolk, who has had a good game, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, but has made a couple of defensive lapses and fouls that I don't think were that smart. Brooks has forced up a lot of shots. I think it's a team MVP. But that's the way it's been all year, hasn't it?
It certainly has. Team, to the extent they have key players coming off the bench that make great contributions.
That's what Osborne forced that one up. It's off Brooks over here. And I guess it's tough under this circumstance, up by 17, to really get an intense performance out of anybody. Good play here by Batterina, who has come to alive finally. Has 11 and just had that very, very silent first half that really hurt Cresskill when no one was able to give Kreitz any help. Brooks off the glass, scores.
Well, right now the Cresskill Cougars have got to put the pressure out front, and with the size advantage that the Bulldogs have, they can just look over the top, throw down underneath.
Here we go the other way. Let's see if he can get up, and he just lays it in. Now with 17 points, Brooks had a chance to put an exclamation point on it, but he wanted to make sure he got at least the 2 out of it.
Now we see right there at the bottom of your screen, Osborne, number 25. He's done an exceptional job defensively, handling Kreitz in this second half.
Wang hits for 3. He has 6. Again, not enough to complement the 25 of, or the 24 of Kreitz. This will be against Batterina. Andy has played well, but not enough. I take a look at what I'll have to call the talent disparity between these two clubs, and I've really got to credit Marty Rivard, unable to get his club even into their county tournaments. You know, in North Jersey they have a number of county tournaments, and yet fought his way through 5 preliminary games to get here to the final. And it is not a club that shows outstanding players. I don't know beyond Kreitz how many, if any of these, will ever play another game after they finish their high school careers.
No, you're right. Rivard has done such an exceptional job just to get his team here, but He's done that throughout his career. It's an overachieving type group, but it does start with a great ball player, and Kreitz is certainly a good one. He's got a good supporting cast, and certainly I think as we look back on this game, I think the loss of Phoenix early in the third quarter, they were still in the ball game. He was really doing the job on the boards for him, has really made a difference. And now Lang's starting to find the range from the three-pointer, and this is what they would have loved to have early in the ball game, especially with that box and one, looking for a few players to step up, take some of that pressure off of Kreitz, maybe get him out of that box and one, and force you to play him straight up.
You still feel the hole is much too deep, as Wilmot will have a chance to make it 17 and won't. And I think they're going to get an offensive foul called. Offensive foul against Wilmot, and that was a charitable call, I think.
It certainly was. Wilmot going to the basket. Didn't look like the defensive player had established the position, but right now the Cougars getting the calls, but it's just a little bit too little, too late.
Well, a three could close it to 12. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? And Kreitz will be the guy who'll get the chance and do it. Uh-oh.
I would start looking to foul, maybe start sending to the line. There was a good opportunity right there.
Oh, that's a walk. They'll go the other way. Another three, and they'll be under double figures, and we're going to erase some of the tape of the last 3 minutes commentary. Kreitz again. Will not bang this one home, but look at this rebound underneath. Walk called a little early. It was going to be one in any event, but I think the whistle may have been in anticipation, and they don't like it at all on the Cresskill bench, do they?
No, but it was a good call, a little bit out of control going to the boards there.
What do you think, take a little time off unless you really got a shot here?
Well, you love to see him force him to have to come out and foul, maybe get something easy down on the inside. Take a little time off.
Quinn on Brooks. Brooks wanted the pick from Wilmot, didn't get it. They go down to Davis. Powers his way to the basket, fires it up, and Kreitz picks up his fourth foul.
Well, that's not the guy you want to foul, especially if you send him to the line to shoot two. If you're going to foul, he may want to do it a little bit earlier.
Number 44.
Of course, Brooks is going to keep the ball in his hands as long as he possibly can.
So Davis, with 20, will try to add to that total and get the lead back up again. Down to 12, stays at 12.
He talked about 20 points, and very similar to the 32 he scored against Middlesex. It's, well, after the ball game, you look down the tally sheets and you see him with 20, with 30 points, and you don't even realize how
good rebound by Wilmot. Sorry.
That was a big basket. You're absolutely right. Wilmot on the follow-up on another one of those 6'4" front linemen with a follow-up after Davis uncharacteristically misses two foul shots.
Well, Quinn could not get it. Looked like he had a fine opportunity as he made a good move to the basket. 67-53, and now 1:20 to play. Glassboro looks safe for them now. And Quinn will be forced to foul, and we'll see a parade like this now to the free throw line. Well, the Bulldog bus with the players was lost somewhere out in the country here as they made their way to Rutgers today, and didn't arrive until there were 13 minutes showing on the pre-game clock, and they had a long ride here. It'll be a short and happy one home.
It certainly will be. Kevin Timbers has certainly done a great job this year, keeping his team focused, not challenged as much as maybe he would have liked during the course of the season. A lot of easy ball games, a very talented team that had an easy ride getting through the Tri-County Championship. A little bit tougher going in the Group 1 playoffs, but such a team that did such a great job of coming through and playing the kind of basketball they were capable of when they had to.
Traveling call.
For three, will not go. Under a minute. Thrown away. We've had a lot of that tonight. Well, you said they had to keep them in the 60s. They kept them there, but just. It's 69, and Cresskill 14 down and could close, but they lost Phoenix, and Kreitz tired and didn't really have much of a effort from Batterina until the second half as we get another score from Andy. And it'll draw them within 12 again, but 38 to go. Brooks will go down court. He sees the man is wide open. Left hand, good recover by Woolfolk, who picks up his 13th and 14th point and keeps everything safe. Oh, look at Brooks, that's a foul. I don't know why he did that. I think he felt they had the game put away, wanted to make a good steal and go down and put the exclamation point on it.
You're absolutely right. I think Woolfolk wanted to do it on the last play. Brooks looking for the steal, maybe going to give it up to Davis. And you're right, they would love to put that exclamation point on there if they possibly could.
Well, Kreitz come in averaging 27. He's got 27 right now, so I guess he did his job as we see coming into the ball game. Chad Wilmot, number 50 now. Wilmot's in there.
I think we're going to start to see the seniors, the two Wilmots, both seniors. Ian Williams coming off the bench, he's a senior. McGirt is a senior. Only one left out there is Torrey Brooks, the junior. He will probably be replaced right now.
Yep, they've got him. This is Byard now getting into the ball game, number 45. So the starting group can go to the sidelines and just enjoy. And the fans who came enjoyed it, and this guy has really nothing to be ashamed of. What a super job he did getting his troops here.
And not only getting here, but keeping them in the ball game. When you look back, they could have easily been blown out of this game. They played tight in the first half. They're only down 13 right now. They could have easily rolled over, but they stayed with their aggressive style, fought back, started hitting the threes. There in the fourth quarter, just something they could not get into the flow of the game early.
Quinn goes to the bench and gets the admiration of his coaching staff and teammates for a fine career. 5'8" senior, did everything they asked of him, which was run the floor and run the offense. Don't try and do anything much beyond that. And you can't ask for anything better than a player that shows the kind of discipline that Quinn showed. And
Kreitz, of course, came out of the game a little bit earlier than that. He got a great ovation from the stands of Cresskill and their fans, and certainly has had an outstanding career. We talked about being the leading scorer in Bergen County this year. He's had a great senior year, almost single-handedly bringing his team to the state finals, although he's had a good supporting cast and did everything he could to try to pull this game out tonight, but they certainly just ran into a great team in this Glassboro Bulldog squad. And now I guess if you're Kevin Timbers, you got to think about the next level. After winning the Group 1 championship, it's now on to the Tournament of Champions, and I've always been one. I think as a coach, to just finish right here and not go to the next level. I mean, it's a great opportunity, but you love to be in a position where you win that last game, you come off a real high.
Wilmot cannot score, but he gets the shot. That'll do it. The Bulldogs, for the third time in the school history, state Group 1 champions, 72-59. Kevin Timbers, who did it as a player in '81, comes back now and does it as a coach, and does it with a balanced performance from his club. Brooks with 20, Woolfolk with 14, Davis with 20. 72-59, the final score. We'll be back with some final words and an interview or two right after this. Well, there you can say it. Kevin Timbers gets the championship trophy, the championship souvenir basketball, and he'll take it right to where he believes it ought to go, and that's to his players. And the MVP has been selected here, and it is Torrey Brooks. Brooks, who ran the offense all night long, picks up 20 points, and now gets the gold that'll go in a cherished place in his home. A happy young guy, Torrey Brooks, and it was really a tough decision whether it would be Brooks, Woolfolk, or Davis, and a lot of people here probably thought, and some who are knowledgeable in basketball will go home believing maybe Donald Osborne deserved some of that piece of that trophy because of the defensive job he did on Garrett Kreitz. Well, how can you say a guy did a great defensive job when Kreitz winds up with 27? Let me tell you, without the shadowing of Donald Osborne, who played most of the way on the box and one on Kreitz, Kreitz may have wound up with 40 to 45 points. Super job that was done, however, by Osborne made all the difference in the world, and you got to be very, very happy with the selection, however, here of Brooks, who gets the most valuable trophy. Here they get their picture taken. This is the one that all of them will want to hang in their family rooms, the championship picture. Timbers, as we point out, knew the excitement as a player, as did Steve Crispin, my partner, when he was Timbers coach back in 1981. That was a ball game that we had from the Dunn Center in Elizabeth, as Glassboro won their second state championship that year, having won it once before in '78. This is the 5th appearance, and it comes up with 3 championships now. And what a lot of people have to say after they stop celebrating this one is, who do you think's going to be here next year? Remember, Cresskill had returned this season after losing a year ago to Perth Amboy Voc Tech in the championship game. But when you look at the roster here and all the youngsters, juniors, and Osborne just a sophomore for Glassboro, you got to believe that the Bulldogs have an outstanding chance of getting here again. Steve Crispin is on the floor right now with a happy coach and some outstanding players. Let's get down for the interview of the champions right now. Steve?
Coach Tevin Kemp, Timbers, and Tori Brooks, MVP for this year's Group 1 state championship. Well, it's been a long road to the finals here. It's been a tough road. I guess it had to feel awful good to have the opportunity maybe to sit back just a little bit there in the 4th quarter and really enjoy it.
Well, a little bit. They came back, they hit a couple threes here and there. But I was thinking of Burlington Township on how we came back on them, but they came through, they got some clutch rebounds down there and played good defense. Donald Osborne played good defense on number 44.
Yeah, I think looking back on the ball game certainly had to be one of the key things that you did defensively in changing your defense from your 2-3, putting a little bit more pressure on Kreitz, going to the box and one.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about it earlier, but I figured we stay in our offense, give them a different look, and then we might come out in the box and one so they couldn't prepare for it. So it kind of worked, and we came out on top.
Yeah, well, what can you say about this guy here on the other side here? He's had a great season, great game tonight, named MVP, 21 points, I think, great effort all the way around. Really does a great job, I guess, in setting up the other players with your strong inside game.
Yeah, well, that gives us an inside-outside threat. With Mo and Tori on one side, he can go in, he can drive and penetrate and dish it off, or he can shoot the 3 if it has to. So they can't really play us a complete collapse inside.
Right. I know one thing that's got to feel great, Tori, is when you're out there on that perimeter, when you're shooting a ball, you can just absolutely relax when you got great guys down front that know they're going to just take up everything that you do miss.
Yeah, it feels good, even though I do got to crash the boards myself, so Mo and Bobby there for me if I do miss, so it don't matter.
Well, there's certainly a lot of people on the Glassboro sidelines now. This is one down, the 3rd one here in Glassboro history. A lot of excitement over there. And, of course, now everybody's going to be talking about next year. It's going to be tough to repeat, but you certainly looks like you're going to have the horses to do it.
I hope so. We come back, everybody comes back. I lose about 5 guys, but I have a couple young kids coming up. And I hope we can repeat again. Matter of fact, we should repeat again.
Well, the one question a lot of people are going to be asking is, does it feel better as a player? Does it feel better as a coach?
I think it does as a coach. You can control what's going on in the game, but when you're coaching, you can tell them what to do, but it don't always work.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Timbers, Tori Brooks, congratulations. Great season. Of course, a lot of people are going to be looking for you next year.
Right.
Excellent job getting here. Nice job. Good luck next year.
Thank you.
Back to you, Mike.
The lights off on us here at the Lewis Brown Center at Rutgers University. That means one thing: the regular season and the state championship tournament is now over. Glassboro coming up with the victory. They, of course, joined Middle Township, who also won today. Piscataway winning the Group 4 and Orange winning the Group 3 championship. On the other side, we do know that Haddonfield girls won the Group 1. Delsea won their playoff game. We have not yet gotten a score from Washington Township. So all in all, it's been a very, very fine tournament, both on the girls' side of the ledger and on the boys' side. But here tonight, it's all Glassboro. 72-59, the final score. The Bulldogs are state champions, Group 1. Now, for Steve Crispin and Channel 5, I'm Mike Lindner, and thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll look for you next time.